Yo, what is going on, everybody? So, a lot of you may have seen all over the news and all over social media and all over basically everywhere online the latest buzz and news about the US women's soccer team because they put in a monstrous claim for well over $60 million as a apparently they got paid less than the men, right? They didn't get equal pay. Now I've looked at a few different articles, and no individual article fully captured the whole picture. But probably the best summarization of it, and surprisingly, was from CNN, something I did not expect at all. So I'm going to be reading that article today. That's in the source link as well. But there are also a few little bits that were missed by it, so I'm going to include those as well. And it's funny, right? Because they're saying, well, we got paid less than the men, but it has an interesting twist to it. So I'm going to get straight into this because after this stream, I'm actually going to be on Undead Chronics channel. So I need to get this cracking, get this done, and get the message to you guys straight up. All right. The US women's national team's fight for equality suffered a major blow on Friday as a federal judge rejected the players' claims that they were paid less than the men's national team. Where? That one's for you, Terrence Pop. Claims by the players of unequal working conditions based on travel conditions, specifically charter flights and hotel accommodations and support services, specifically medical and training support, can still go to trial. The USWNT originally filed a lawsuit against the US Soccer Federation in March 2019, so this has been dragging on for a good solid year and a bit. With 28 members of the team listed as plaintiffs, Friday's ruling was issued in response to a motion for summary judgment to dismiss the lawsuit by the Federation in US District Court for the Central District of California. Surprising, California is usually a feminist state, according to a court ruling. Wow, they must have really messed up to not get awarded something in California. The suit alleges the US Soccer Federation's payment practices amount to federal discrimination by paying women less than men, and I quote, for substantially equal work. What does substantially equal work mean? Like, for doing the same fucking thing? Like, how can you have substantially equal work? Anyway, feminists don't make sense usually, so I'm just going to roll with it. And by denying them at least equal playing, training, and travel conditions, equal promotion of their games, equal support and development for their games, and other terms and conditions of employment equal to the MNT. However, Judge R. Gary Klausner wrote in his decision that members of the USWNT did not prove wage discrimination under the Equal Pay Act because the women's team played more games and made more money than the men's team. So they made more money. Good on them. The women's team also rejected, this is where it gets interesting, also rejected a collective bargaining agreement where they would have had the same pay structure as the men's team in favor of a different collective bargaining agreement. Klausner wrote, the women's collective bargaining agreement guarantees that players, female players, will be compensated and paid regardless of whether they play a match or not. Regardless. So these women opted in for a collective bargaining agreement that says, even if you don't play a single game, you'll still get paid. They were like, oh yeah, I'd love that. If I don't play, I still want to get paid. Whereas the men are like, fuck that. We'll play per game based on performance, right? And we'll earn our keep. So while the men's collective bargaining agreement calls for players to be paid if they are called into camp to play and then participate in a match, according to the summary judgment. Klausner wrote that the women were asking for a court to conclude that the women were paid less than men because had the women been paid under the men's collective bargaining agreement, which the women reject because they didn't want to have to work for every single paycheck, they wanted to get free pay even if they didn't play. So they opted in for the different collective bargaining agreement. But they were basically saying, well, if we'd been under the same collective bargaining agreement as men, which we rejected, by the way, but if we'd been under that same agreement, then we would have got paid less. What? You asked for it. You got it. And now you don't like it. That's basically the same fucking case, right? It's like this whole thing about, oh, women on the front line most effective. All the nurses. Oh my God, coronavirus so affected. Right? These chicks wanted to be nurses. And now they're complaining, oh, it's so hard on the front line. Hey, you signed up to be around sick people. Don't fucking complain now. You made your bed, now lie in it. Pull that blanket over and have a good night's sleep. Instead of making fucking TikToks. God damn it. This approach, merely comparing what each team would have made under the other team's collective bargaining agreement, is untenable in this case because it ignores the reality that the men's team and the women's team bargained for different agreements, which reflect different preferences. Funny that, men and women having different preferences, wouldn't you know it? Which, and that the women's team explicitly rejected the terms they now seek to retroactively impose on themselves, Klausner wrote. This evidence is insufficient to create a genuine issue of material fact for a trial, Klausner wrote. Molly Levinson, a spokeswoman for the players, said they will appeal the decision. Oh, here we go. Molly's fucking white knighting for the feminist dumbasses who chose the wrong collective bargaining agreement. I sound like I'm calling a horse race right now and feminists are out in front, but they're falling behind. We are shocked and disappointed with today's decision, Molly said, but we will not give up on our hard work for equal pay. We are confident in our case and steadfast in our commitment to ensuring that girls and women who play this sport will not be valued as lesser just because of their gender. Well, Molly, how about you commit to making the girls have the same collective bargaining agreement as the men? How about you agree to that? I'm sure the teammates won't like it very much when they find out they have to work for every single game instead of getting a freebie when they don't play. Yeah, have fun convincing them of that. If you guys wonder why I'm doing this shit, like, I'm not sucking dick, invisible dick. I'm actually just got some cashew in my cheek because I'm you know, just having some snacks. This is the only time you're going to see me with nuts in my mouth, all right? Remember that. All right. We have learned that there are tremendous obstacles to change. We know that it takes bravery and courage and perseverance to stand up to them. We will appeal and press on. Words cannot express our gratitude to all who support us. Shocking. I should have waited until after to eat this. Give me a second. All right. US Soccer released a statement saying it looks forward to working with the women's national team to chart a positive path forward to grow the game both here, at home, and around the world. US Soccer has long been the world leader for the women's game on and off the field. And we are committed, she says, to continuing that work. Sorry, we're committed to continuing that work to ensure our women's national team remains the best in the world and sets the standard for women's soccer, the statement read. Players weighed in on social media, including Megan Rapinoe, I think that's how you pronounce it, who tweeted, "We will never stop fighting for equality. No, you'll never stop whinging because you fucked up. That's what you'll never stop doing." Said Alex Morgan on Twitter, "Although disappointing to hear this news, this will not discourage us in our fight for equality or for whinging when we make bad decisions that don't give us the best outcome that we hoped for, but we thought would be beneficial at the time." I'm sure you guys can work out which little bit I'm adding onto these tweets, right? Because sometimes it's hard to tell with these feminists. Tobin Heath tweeted, "This team never gives up and we're not going to start now." The trial is scheduled for June 16. Guys, what did you think of this story? Make sure you smash the thumbs up, share this video, comment on the video after this live finishes, and make sure that the word gets out that this whole feminist crap about equal pay is just a load of fucking hogwash, because it's not based on the same conditions, the same collective bargaining agreements. And it's not like the patriarchy. You're like, hey, ladies, you know what? You need to sign up to that collective bargaining agreement where you get paid even if you don't play. You have to sign up for that. We're like, go on whatever agreement you want, baby. We're going to sign up on the other agreement where we pay to play, where we play to get paid, right? So every game we play, we get paid for. Women are like, no, fuck that. We want to just like still get paid when we have a break, when we have fucking time off, when we don't play. Ladies, start to work commission only. You'll see how good it gets when you put in the hard yards. Guys, if you want to support this channel and you're not currently using Brave browser and you're using Google Chrome browser, or you're using Safari, or you're using Mozilla Firefox or something, you want to get the goodness of Google Chrome browser and all the options and all the extensions and the user friendliness, but without the memory hogging and the privacy concerns, go to sydneymigtower.com/brave to support this channel. I use it on my mobiles and my PCs, and I absolutely love it. It works really, really well for me. So that does support the channel. If you want to donate, head on over to paypal.me/SydneyMigTower. There's also crypto subscribe star Patreon in the links below. Check that out if you so desire. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am just about to head off. I'm on Chronic's channel in just a moment. So if you want to head over and see me there in the next, what do we got here? Next 15 minutes or so, that's where I'm going to be. I appreciate you all. I look forward to catching you in the next video. But until next time, peace.